Hi, welcome back. In this video, we will learn how to transform the data from wider format to longer format. We can also say it as unpivoting or melting the data. For this, we will be using the function called melt from data table library in our language. Let us jump in. First, let us import the library data table by pressing Ctrl Enter. We are using the function called library in brackets data table, and I am changing the root directory. Here we are going to import a sample data from this path. Let me execute this and see the source data from this table. Here this is the structure. Name, department, city and value fields are showing in the columns. Now our objective is to convert these four columns into rows. It means from wider format to longer format we have to convert this data. Before going into practical examples, let us see the syntax of this function. In melt, first one is the data table that we want to unpivot or melt. Next one is ID variables, it means identifiers. In this example, these three are the identifiers in this particular table. These four columns are the measures. Here we have to give the measures as input. Now, while converting or melting this data, this will be shown in a column. For that, what will be the name can be given in this variable dot name. Now, once the values are converted into longer format, for that field, what is the column name we should give? That can be given in this particular option. And while converting, these NA values also will be shown as a separate rows. If we don't want that, we can deal with them by na.rm is equal to true. Now let us practice. The first one I will try with melting one identifier and one measure. From here I am taking department from identifiers and salary female from the measures. In melt, data table, department and salary female. Let me execute this and see the output. Please observe this. Identifier showing in one column. The measures column has been shown in a separate column, but by default it is showing the variable as the column name. That can be changed as per our requirement, and its values are showing in the single column. Now let us remove this NAs by putting the option na.rm is equal to true. Same command has been copied here. Just one additional argument has been inserted here. Let me execute this and see the output. If we observe this, all NA values have been disappeared. Now let us try with more or multiple identifiers and multiple measures. A single measure or identifier can be given in the quotations without C function or within C function. However, while giving the multiple identifiers or multiple measures, we have to give them in the C function. It's actually small c. In C function, we are putting two identifiers and two measures. By default, in the subsequent part of this video, everywhere I will be using na.rm is equal to true so that we can avoid all null cases. Let me execute this and see the output. Here, in the variable, it is showing salary female and corresponding value right side and salary male and corresponding values right side. It has been converted from the wider format to longer format. Now, as I said earlier, we can change the field names here. Instead of default names, we can change as per our requirement. Here what we are giving is variable.name is equal to, we are giving a metric and value.name I am renaming as measurement. Let me execute this and see the output. Here these column names are changed as per our input given here. And sometimes we may require all the measures should be converted or melted. In this case, what we can do is if we include all the identifiers in the id.vats, it will take all the remaining columns as measures. In this example, these three are the identifiers, name, department and city. All other fields are measures. Let me execute this and see the output. In this output, if we observe this, all four measures have been converted into rows. Please observe carefully. There are four measures are converted into rows in this table. And sometimes we may require all the columns to be unpivoted, but one or two may be excluded. In this case, what we will do is we can do them dynamically. Here I am taking names command. This names command, let me execute this and see what is there in the names. In the names, we are putting the data table name. If we execute this, it will show all the column names available in the particular table. From that, I am taking identifiers, second and third columns. For that, I am putting in square brackets 2 to 3. Let me execute this by selecting this particular portion. It is showing only department and city. And in the measures, what I am doing is I have to exclude all the identifiers. Apart from that, if I don't want any measures, those also should be excluded from the selection. For that, what I am doing is, I am taking the difference of all the names in the particular table and those who don't want to show it as measures. In this example, from all the columns, we are removing from these names 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6. These columns I don't want to unpivot. Before that, let me select this entire region and execute this. In this case, I am getting salary female and age male. These two alone we are showing in the measures. Let me execute this and see the output. In the identifiers, department and city has been shown, and in the variable and value fields, we are getting salary female and age male. Whatever we have shown here were excluded. So this can be done dynamically. With this, we have learned how to use the melt command in our language. Now, let me show you two more examples. One is the chaining. It means one output can be taken as a input and subsequent commands can be written at the end of those coding. Here, from melt we are getting some table, and from the table we are filtering out value greater than 75,000. Let me execute this and see the output. If we observe this, all the values showing greater than 75,000 only visible here. And another important practical situation where we may require using melt command is this one. Let me see the input file here in the dt2. In this dt2, we are having some identifiers and values were given in the columns month wise. Now, let us see how to convert these columns into rows. It is simple. Melt, we have to give the table name. Since I want to convert all the measures into rows, I need not to give the measure names. If I give all the other columns as identifiers, it will automatically take these columns as measures. Let me execute this and see the output. In this output, the three identifiers were shown as it is and all the months were shown in the rows. Let us change these column names. Here I am using variable.name equals to month and value.name equals to amount. Let us execute this and see the output. Here this column name has been changed. Further, I recommend you to use different scenarios by changing the arguments. Thank you for watching this video and stay tuned for more valuable content.